So let's add a book to this database. I'm going to show you how to do it both in how we would do it both in the IRC and how I want you to do it in the James Monroe Middle School, because there's a little feature in the middle school one that we don't have in the IRC. And for some of you, you'll be like, "Ooh, I like that." And for some of you, it'll be a question to ask your librarian: do we have this? Do we have this capability? Especially those of you who use Destiny. I know not everybody uses Destiny. Some of you use Alexandria. Others of you use. Oh no, it's going to be gone now. Yikes, my bad. Destiny and Alexandria are the two most widely used, and then there's others that people use as well. Dynix, is that one? Oh well, I can't remember off the top of my head, so I'll just quit trying. So let's look. Let's add this book, and you'll see the book that we're going to add there in the corner of the screen. It's called Kizzy Ann Stamps, and Kizzy Ann Stamps is a good book to add to a middle school library. Good book to add really to any library, but it falls especially well in that 5th, 6th, 7th grade range. So let's put Kizzy Ann Stamps in here. So we go into the OPAC, we log in, because we have to be logged in, as an administrator to be able to catalog. So we're all logged in. And then the very first thing I always do, and I always tell my people helping me catalog, which could be a graduate assistant, or right now we have Miss McCune from ACTS helping us get caught up down in the IRC. I say, please, first thing, make sure we don't already have a copy of this book in the IRC, and also check and make sure that we don't have, or maybe we do have, other books by this author. Because if we already have other books by this author, it makes creating the call number easier. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to look up the author, and the author's name, which you can't see on your picture, but it's Watts and Jerry, and we're going to search by author. Okay, so it says in the IRC that we have Kizzy Ann Stamps already, and there is a version already, but in fact it's already been processed, ready to go out on the shelves. Excuse me. So this is going to be a duplicate, but I just want you to see the process here. Okay, so we do have it. Here it is. Let's say we were going to look up a book by who was the Waters, I believe it was. I was looking up the other day. Well, no, but that's okay. We have here Katie Waters, and right here is what I want us to look at. Okay, the W329. It's the same for both. So that means the cutter number should be W329 for any other books that we might put in here by Kate Waters. If we looked for, I don't know if we've got any Rick Riordan's down there. We do, okay. So we look and we say, are all the cutter numbers the same? So R 5859, 5859, 5859, 5859. Okay, so yay, they're all the same. Here's why I say that, because as I've been cataloging books recently for the IRC, I've found that one author, we might have two different cutter numbers. And we'll see here in a little bit how that happens. And with the cutter tables, there's two choices. And I think we've talked a little bit, maybe not yet, but it's coming up in the module, about the two different choices for cutter tables. Right? So, they're all the same, so that should be Rick Riordan's number. Alright. So, let's say we're going to add Ms. Kizzy Ann Stamps here to our database. We didn't find it. It's not there. In fact, you know what? I'm going to change my mind. Since Kizzy and Stamps is already in there, well, no, let's stick with it. We'll just stick with it. Okay, so it's always, I think, easiest to search for a book that you want to add by its ISBN number. Okay? So there's two places you can find the ISBN number. One place is on the back in the, and hopefully you can see it, with the barcode on the back. Okay? You might not be able to read this at your level, but always with the barcode, you'll see the ISBN here at the top, and then the ISBN also shows up right underneath the initial barcode. Alright. Another thing that shows up in the barcode is the price of the book, because we're going to get into, when we start adding the information in, that we need the price of the book, because what if somebody needs to replace the book? Okay? So on this particular book, it has the price here, but not all books can you find the price anywhere on them. Okay? But you can if you look at the last numbers of the barcode. You'll see 599. That's the price. Okay? Here's another one. This is another book. Okay? Got the ISBN number here. ISBN number is here. And then we've got price is $9.99 here at the end of the barcode, $9.99. Okay, so you can always find ISBN and the price on the barcode. Now, note of caution. This is okay to use, but it might not always be accurate. So another place you need to look is on your chief source of information. And do you remember what that is? Chief source of information for any book is title page and the verso of the title page. When we look at the verso of the title page, we'll see here's the ISBN numbers. One for the hardcover, one for the paperback. Okay? They also have the Library of Congress catalog number in there as well. So we're going to search. This is the paperback, so we want to use this number. Okay. This number does match the one on the back, and most of the time it will. Sometimes you'll get an item that you can't find, so it's good to go into the title page verso and see if maybe there's a different one. Scholastic books, especially book fair books, are notorious for having ISBN numbers that you can't find. Okay? So you might look on the verso of the title page, and then you might have to search Amazon or something to find the book itself. All right, so just know that Scholastic books, especially those books from book fairs, a lot of times will be a little more difficult to find when we're trying to put them in the database. Okay, so we're going to put 978-07636-69768 in here, and 697, whoops, that's not going to work, 68, now we're going to say go, and it's going to think. Okay, and we bring in Kizzy and Stamps. Okay, so what I want you to notice is this. Two different icons. Okay. The little house means, hey, I found this book already in your library. Okay. If it's not in your library, but the database or Destiny goes out and it actually finds a record that matches your book, it's going to say, here, I found this out in Alliance Plus. Alliance Plus is a database of hundreds of thousands of books that users of Follett's Destiny get access to, so that we can easily find records. And it's so nice, because we're going to pretend that this one doesn't exist, and we say, oh yay, there's the book. Okay, so we're going to double check. Okay, so now we go in, and this is where we need to do a little matching here, and this is part of what Ms. McCune talked about, mark record matching, making sure things match. Alright, so we take our item in hand, and we go to our chief source of information. We look and we make sure that's correct. And then sometimes they're not all complete. But we look and we make sure that the copyright date is correct. We make sure that the ISBN numbers are correct. Publisher, the date of publication, everything are all correct. And we always check the summary too. And I already see something that needs to be changed in the summary. Okay? So this, what we have now, this is just title details. This is just specifics for the title that is being drawn from the MARC record. Okay? If we want to actually look at the MARC record, we can do that as well. We can go in and look and compare it against what we have here on the title page. And if you notice, what I love about Follett's MARC View is it tells you what all the tags mean, which is fabulous. Okay. So we can look and we can find, oh, here's the Dewey number, and it just comes in as fiction, okay, because that's how most people catalog fiction. Okay. Just the edition, publication date, physical description of the book. Here's some different notes. There's a note on the summary, which is where I see the problem. We can change that. So we look at it and we've matched it. It matches. It's what we want. This is the book that we have in hand. Okay. So we're going to go and we're going to say, I want to save this title. Okay. And I could say yes, but I'm going to say no. Okay, and I'm going to go back to our one we already have, because we can do this from here. Okay, we're going to look at the title details. So you save the copy. You now have the copy in your database. That's what this is. Okay. And we're going to say, I want to fix something that I noticed. So we're going to edit the title. And we go in. Oh, yay! Place to edit. And this is all okay on this page. Over here are some more tabs. And it was on a note that I saw the problem. And it's in the summary. Her name is spelled wrong. Whoever wrote this, okay, spelled her name wrong. So we're going to go in here and we're going to change that. And we're going to update. Okay. So, did you see how I did that? I went down to what I wanted to change, clicked on the little pencil in the paper, edit it. Comes up in a box we can edit. We can say update, and now it's good. Then we're going to save the title. And you notice here there's a little check mark that says check punctuation on save. I always do that. That way I don't have to worry about, oh, should there be a comma or a colon or a semicolon at the end of that line or somewhere in that line. Okay. Destiny will do it for me. So I say title, and it comes up with some suggestions. You know, like we need periods in some places that there aren't periods. So I'm going to say, yes, you know where there need to be periods, so let's add them. So I selected all of them, and I'm going to save the title. And now it's all correct. Now, let's see what's different from in the IRC. Now, this is James Monroe Middle School now. And we're going to go here. And again, you can find books by all these different things. I always like to do it with the ISBN number. And again, sorry for the mistake. I'm going to flip this over. 1780 7636 6976. Okay. Now we're going to go, because I've already searched for this once, so we're going to save time. Okay. This one is not currently in this district's or this school's catalog. So we're going to add it. If we like it, we're going to choose it here. Okay, again, this is wrong. Oops. But here's what's nice about if your school has access. Oh, did it not come in? Let's see what happens when I save the title. There it is. Okay. So we had the title and it was regular, but then when I save the title, what it does is it makes it specific to your school, and look what it added right here. if you're part of the accelerated reader and you've got it built into your system, it'll go out and say, okay, this has an accelerated reader quiz. Here's the quiz number. Here's its level. Here's how many points it's worth. And here's the interest level. So it's like, oh, nice. An easy way for people to see that accelerated reader information. Okay? And then you can put it on the book and all that. It's all right here. It's all right here in the record. And if we go to the mark view and look at that, see if we can find where that, is it in here? It should be in here. I might not find it off the top of my head though. No. Okay, well, we're going to move on because it's going to get too long. But it should be part of the record so it can actually know where to pull that from. Again, if there's reviews of the book, those can be added, but we're going to stick with the title details. Okay. So now, say we want, okay, so this is the big part. Since there is no copy of this title here at James Monroe Middle School, we're just going to add it. Alright, so we have the book saved in the database. We found the book, we saved a copy. Okay, so now we have a copy available, we have the record available in our database. Now we want to add a copy of that into our school so people can actually check it out. Alright, so we come in here and we say, here's all this information that I can put in for this one title. You might have more than one copy. Right now we only have the one, so we're going to do one. Okay. And then right here where it says starting barcode, what do you want the barcode to be? When you come in to put books into this database, I want you to have this radio button right here checked. Assign next barcode. That way you don't have to worry about finding a barcode. Alright. So the barcode is assigned for you. If you work in a library that, you might have two different people doing this or whatever, and you might need to actually physically either type in the barcode or you can scan it with your little scanner gun and it'll put it in here for you. Okay, but for our purposes, our exercise right now, we're just going to assign the next barcode. Alright. So, our call number, we are going to start with FIC because we're going to put it in fiction. However, I don't want the little bars around it, so we're just going to change this one. All uppercase. Okay. Now, call number means the class, which is, or our prefix here, which is fiction. Then it needs a Dewey Decimal number. However, since this is fiction, we're not going to use a Dewey Decimal number. Then it needs Cutter number. Now remember, your Cutter number can be taken from the Cutter tables, or it can be a lot of people use the first three letters of the author's last name. So some people just might have W-A-T, okay, and you would go look, that's how you would look for it on the shelf. And then they might have, you could have the year of publication. And you can have, if this book is in multiple libraries, you might have FSMS. Because it might be in the middle school library, it might be in an elementary library, and at the district level they might need to know where this copy is. Alright, so that's one potential call number. What I want you to do, I don't want you to use the first three letters of the author's last name. I want you to use an actual Cutter number from the Cutter tables. So you'll need a PC to do this part, to find the Cutter number. And you're going to launch the Cutter program. And there's directions on how to find that in this module. And you're going to use the Cutter Sanborn four-figure table. Remember I talked in the previous video about having different Cutter numbers on the same author's book? That's not cool. And that happens because people aren't consistent with the tables you use. Because each of these tables will generate a different kind of number. So for our purposes, what we're doing, I want us to use the Cutter Sanborn four-figure table. Doesn't mean it's right, doesn't mean the only one you're going to use, ever, if you ever use this, but this is what I want us to use. Okay, so what you'll type in the last name of the author, and then the first name of the author. And here's why. Let's see if I use Smith. Okay, lots of authors by the name Smith, right? See how it changes when I change the name? Anne, Arthur, okay, Dawn. See, it changes from just the Smith. All right. So we're going to use, again, Watts and Jerry. See, it even changed when I'm doing Watts with Jerry. Okay. And we're going to copy that cutter number. Simple as that. Then we're going to go back here, and we are going to paste that in. Now we need the work mark. The work mark is what makes this cutter number unique to this work. Okay? And the work mark for what we're doing is the first letter of the first word of the title, excluding a and the, that kind of stuff. All right. So in this case, it's going to be K, and it's lowercase for Kizzy Ann Stamps. All right. And then I want you to add a locator. So like in the IRC, we put IRC. And in the notes that you'll read, we do that because we used to be part of Axe Library, and they needed to know where the book was located because they're part of a consortium. And they do Pittsburgh Public Library, USD 250, they used to do us, the library at the Kansas Technology Center, so there's lots of different places. So they might do multiple copies of a book, but then on the call number they add where it's at so they know where that copy of the book is. Okay? Alright, so for us, we're going to use James Monroe Middle School. So we're going to do James Monroe Middle School. Okay. So that's what we're going to add to it. So we've got fit because it's a fiction. We've got the cutter number. We've got James Monroe Middle School. Okay. Now we're going to go to the purchase price. And we said it was $5.99 here. Okay. I'm bad. I always round up to the nearest dollar. So we just add $6. Here we can change how long it's in circulation. Okay. This is a regular circulation, so we're going to leave it in there like that. Tell us what date we acquired it. If we have any special copy categories or notes we need to add, sometimes I add notes for the IRC that says this has to be, or you have to have special permission from a professor to check this out, or this can only be checked out for one day, or make sure that you look in the camera bag for such and such, such and such, such and such when it gets checked back in and checked out, so that we make sure that things come in like they're supposed to. Okay? You can add information about the volume, the issue, that kind of thing. Which copy this is if you have more than one copy. Okay? And then here, if you have some different locations, we do, like here in the IRC, or maybe if this is a district cataloger, the sub-location is going to be James Monroe Middle School or Abraham Lincoln Elementary School, and so those will be in here. For the IRC, you know, we have a reserve section, a manipulative room, there's a room across the hall, so I try to add that if it's in a special place so that students can find the resource easier, because remember, that's what this is all about, helping people find your resources. Okay. Vendor, where'd you get it from? And then how to get paid for it. You know, was it libraries, out of the budget, so that you kind of know. You can keep track because you can run a report for this. So how many books were you able to buy from your bake sale or from your book fair and that kind of thing. Okay? All right. So I'm not going to worry about that today. We're not going to worry about that when we put it in. Just know it's there. Okay? And then we're going to save a copy. And one nice thing, you can print labels for it right here if you have that capacity through Destiny in your school. And you say, yay, and now it's here, and it's available, and it's ready to go. So that's how to add a book that's record easily shows up in the database, in Alliance Plus. It's pretty easy, actually. Okay, it's tedious, you know, it took a little time, but it's not a bad process. Especially when that record is already there and it's already accurate.